Welcome to the Land Your Bet Sports Betting Show live stream looking at NBA playoffs on Mother's Day. Happy birthday. Happy Mother's Day to all the moms. We're going to be looking at some bets here. I put a video up last night, so hopefully you are subscribed to the page. You got to check out what I put in early. I do have some updates, though, for that video that I want to go through with you guys because I do not think Tyrese Haliburton looks ready to play basketball. I'm not sure if everybody here has seen what Tyrese kind of looks like hobbling around right now, but he is in a bad way with his lower back, obviously. Turned that ankle as well in that game. Probably finished it up on adrenaline strictly and all the energy he already had going. So we'll take a look at how I'm gonna buy out of the Haliburton over points. If you took that, that's no longer scrolling on the bottom line. But everything that's going to be on there is going to be what we've already got on the card. So if you do come in late, check out the bottom line for what you need. What's good, C Sims? I got a couple bets from you coming in, bro. Let's put those up. I do want to look at the Ben Shepard stuff, but I went under on LYB Burks already. I can tell you that right now. I don't think he's in line for the same minutes. I don't think he's in line for the same usage. So we're going to take a look at LYB Burks, though, and see what we got with him. I'll put some of that stuff up in the upcoming right now. I know you said Ben Shepard. I think he might be a good look. I'm trying to figure out what to do. I think McConnell's probably a good look, too. What's good, 36 Chambers, with Haliburton looking the way he is. I don't think I have that video up. I can probably show it, actually. I don't think I'll get in trouble for that. I can show the video of Haliburton walking, let's call it gingerly, down the steps after an interview on that last game. I'll put up a couple bets for this Timberwolves and Nuggets game as well, because I'm going to obviously get through that stuff here now, even though that game's much later today. I saw you put up in the comments, what do we had there? We had Mike Conley. That's right. We'll look at some Mike Conley stuff. He's been going over on those rebounds. I know people keep going back to Mike Conley rebounds, so we could put that in here for now. But if you are coming in, get in the comments. If you do want to throw a bet out there, we could take a look at it together. I got everything scrolling on the bottom line. That should say LYB Burks, not LYB Burke. So all those bets are already in for me. I think we got to look at Pascal. I'm going to put him in here as well because I haven't put him up yet, and I still think he's probably going to be good to get his stuff. So let me put Pascal up in the upcoming next as well, alongside Ben Shepard that we're going to be looking at. So that stuff's going to be coming up right now. I'll be sharing my screen to show you that stuff. While people are rolling in, I am going to show some of the stuff that I already put in. This is my favorite bet. I got to double check what it's at now for Josh Hart to be the rebounding leader in this game. But the fact that this was even at minus 150, I thought was pretty absurd. Nate and I on my other show, we found that together. I was already looking at Josh Hart because he had an early prop line of 12.5 boards. So I wanted to see that and kind of already play that one. I put that out in the Discord. If you're not in the Discord, want to check out the link in the description of the video so you can make sure you get these bets early. I put all this stuff up in the card. Plus, the video I put out last night, I had Tyrese Haliburton, but I don't think I can play this anymore. So hopefully you're listening and not just watching as I pull this up, because this is Hallie points that I really liked last night. And the more that the reports come in, that it was like, it wasn't just post game that he was sore. It was like, he's now legit, like in a bad way physically. He's going to go. He's going to be like, he's going to play as much as he can, probably 32, 36 minutes. But I just don't know if you can count on the same level of aggression from Haliburton if he's moving like that. So that's kind of where I'm at with him right now. And the fact that I bought out of this, I put that in the Discord as well. Like I said, I bought out of this. So I'm off of this at this point for the 21.5. I also had this other Haliburton bet where I love these head-to-head bets on DraftKings. You can take two players to go head-to-head in a specific bet that you want with them. Threes, assists, rebounds, points, all that stuff. I left this one on the card. There's no way to really buy out of this. I'm not going to bank on Brunson making threes, I'm going to be honest with you. So I just left this one in because I still think even if he's hurt, still probably seems more likely he shoots some threes rather than than get all the way into the lane, which is the two things that he does the most, right? But here's another one for you, is a fourth quarter under. I love this bet. I'm not going to lie to you. This is something I've been looking at since last postseason. I did this a couple of times as well, where the fourth quarter, everything slows down. Like, and in this game, in this series, especially, all the Knicks players that are hurt right now, they're going to be slowing that pace down as much as they can. It was an 88 pace in the second half of this last game, as they were just losing dudes like flies, as we know. Plus, we're going to get some precious Achiuwa out there, I'm sure, because if they get those offensive rebounds like the Pacers did in the fourth quarter, this last game, in the fourth quarter, the Pacers had 7 second chance points on all of those offensive rebounds that they kept getting against a much better Knicks rebounding team than they showed. So I think we're going to see a lot better rebounding from the Knicks. That's going to lead to fewer points in any way. And Brunson's going to be tired with Nesmith all over him. It's crazy that Nesmith took so long to start guarding him. But I think we can look at McConnell and Haliburton assists. Mason King brought that up. I think that was another idea that I had too. I agree with you on that one, that Haliburton assist is probably a look right now. I got to look for under 3.5 boards for Brunson. Yeah, he's not 100%. I faded his boards recently. Let me put him in here in general because I don't have any Brunson stuff up yet. So I want to look at his stuff. There was some dissent in the Discord chat about whether Brunson points was an over and under. So I know like some people were on under Brunson today. Some people are on over Brunson, which I thought was interesting as we get split. And I got to put McConnell in here. I don't know why I didn't just add him already. He and Ben Shepard are going to have similar looks right now. I'll start with those dudes in a sec because they're basically both dudes that could benefit from Haliburton not being his same self, right? Let's see. Ooh, I like that. You can get Will C's got a good look where you can parlay Hart as the rebound leader in his game with Ant as the point leader in their game. And I do like Ant as well. That's one more bet that fell off. I'm going to pull it back up real quick. Where you at, Ant? But I do think Ant on the PA, I'm going right back to it. I did it last game. I'm going right back to it. The last game, there was obviously a lack of aggression on his part. This thing was over by the second or third quarter. I think it's going to be much closer today. I think Ant's going to come out with the vengeance, and I was ready to do that while I was watching last game. I was like, great, guess we get to come back to it. Thought they might drop it down to like 32, 31 PA. They didn't. They just gave us better odds, minus 105 as opposed to like minus 125 for what it was last game. So Ant is scrolling on the bottom line. For sure. And I'm going to share my screen in a minute so I can look at your bets and show you that I also took a couple other bets in this Knicks game real quick. So I'm going to put Ant up, or not Ant, I'm sorry. The bets that I added here. So I've also got up, you'll see on the bottom line, the last couple of bets there, I got Alec Burks under 12.5 PRA. You can still get that on Caesar, minus 123, scrolling on the bottom line if you haven't seen it yet. And then Miles McBride, I think, is going to be a bit better in this one, too. Over 8.5 points for Miles. So basically what I'm looking at there is the 28 minutes he played last game. I think he's going to have to keep coming back to it. I faded his PRA last game for Miles McBride, but I ended up hitting that because he got 10 points. But it's the same thing here. The rebounds and assists are even lower. I don't need to include those. I just think he's going to be necessary to shoot because Dante DiVincenzo's probably going to regress a little bit, unfortunately to say. Like, I don't think White Dante is going to be hitting 6 of 12 from 3 again. He very well could. He could stay hot, but I'm kind of banking on them needing a bit more shooting behind Brunson and DDV now. So I'm going for the Miles McBride to be that dude to step in, and I'm actually fading Alec Burks in the same breath because it's a similar concept there. Burks not getting quite as much, and McBride getting a bit more of those shots up that they're going to need from 3 and stuff like that. Like Burks misses a couple in the first quarter or second quarter whenever he shows up into the game, and I think he's going to quick hook. He only played as many as he did last game because he was hitting shots. So a quick look at the record. I haven't shown you guys this in a little bit. I apologize for slacking on that during these live streams and the other videos, but we are now year to date up 36 units exactly. And that includes the playoffs. So not too bad. We need to pick it up a little bit on the stuff here for the playoffs. I'm gonna be honest with you. Now only 2.7 units up on the playoffs, which is annoying the hell out of me. So we're going to do better with that moving forward. But let's take a look at some of these. So I'm going to start and get my screen up to share with y'all. Appreciate you guys being in here. What's up, Street Cred and Daryl? PRA for Ant. I mean, you can go for the PRA for Ant. There's no reason if you like the rebounds as well. They think they got up to 5.5 for bad money or 6.5 even if you want to take that. So I left him off because I wanted to include the assists in the event that he does get the ball taken out of his hands occasionally, which will happen. It's not like they're going to throw the same coverage at him all game. Then you do want to have the points and assists covered. So I just took those two. But let me pull up, like I said, my screen right here and share with you guys. I'm going to be using props.cash. That's basically going to be my homepage. So if you don't yet have an account there with or a subscription, I should say, you can use code LYB24 and then get a 25% off on props.cash. You see me using it every day. I'm not going to try to peddle it to you beyond that. I'm just going to let you know it's what I use. And if you want to use it, you can get some money off on the first month of you trying it out. So 25% is a pretty good deal. I'm pulling it up right now to get it going. So let's kick it off with this indie game, obviously. and look at, so so it's really like, it's about health here. Like everything we could look at is going to be what it is. But if you want to know what the reasoning behind taking TJ McConnell and fading Tyrese Haliburton would be, and I'm not fading Haliburton because I'm not saying he can't get shot up with something real good and then come out and do his thing. I'm just saying for me, it's no longer worth a bet, as I can't guarantee that he's going to move well enough to get those points against this Knicks team. So if you look at him in the last 2 games, though, there's obviously correlation between him getting him taking more shots and this team performing better on offense. Like, let me just pull it up on StatMuse so it's just nice and easy in front of us. All the links to everything I'm using is also going to be in the description of the video if you want to use any of these. Tyrese Haliburton last 3 games. So game 1, 6 points, 6 field goal attempts. That's the story of the game. Then we come up to 19 field goal attempts. Now we're at 26 in this last game, right? And the threes, he went from 5 to 11 to 16. So I've got him, if he's healthy enough, I've got Tyrese Haliburton taking another 10 to 12 threes. I think that's where you put him at. He knows that that's the correlation between this team playing well on offense. I said it in the projections video last night. This is not time to share with your teammates and get everybody involved. This is time to get buckets and make sure that you're getting the best high percentage shot available for your squad. And for him, that's going to be shooting the ball at least around that 18 to 20 times per game. 26 might be a lot. Maybe not. Maybe you still give it to him. He played 38 minutes in this last game. Probably need to project him down a little bit closer to like 32, 33. That's the only one of the main reasons why I bought out of his overs, right? So that's why it's not even on the bottom line anymore, because I'm out on his overs. But if we see who's going to come in and maybe get some of those minutes, obviously it's going to be TJ McConnell and Ben Shepard as well. Will probably benefit a little bit from it. I don't know if there was an update. I'm sure Nesmith is going to play. He was a little bit banged up as well, but there should be a few extra shots to go around. I think Ben Shepard might be up at 5.5. Let me pull up the prop finder real quick. Look, it's just going to come down to volume. This isn't like how's the matchup or whatever. It's like, who's shooting the ball? And for the Pacers, Ben Shepard's been shooting the ball. I'll say that. He is at 4.5 still, minus 105. That feels like a play. Yeah, and minus 105. These odds are all correct. They're pulling through from FanDuel, which I like. Last game, he had 2 points. That was his shooting regression game. He took 5 shots. You like him to make 2 of 5 shots, but he would need a 3 in there, obviously, to get us there. He didn't have a free throw in these last couple games, so he's done with those. He got a couple against the Bucks, but you can't rely on that. So he's taken 3 a game, and that's in this series. It's basically 18 minutes, right? So that's one of the beautiful parts about Props.cash. Obviously, I can see everything in one spot. So if I just scroll down from here, this is where I want to see how he's recently done. Moving down, I can see the minutes. And I'm actually going to make this playoffs head-to-head, so I can just only have it against the Knicks real quick versus New York in the playoffs. So he went 8, 11, and 2, right? Now he played 17, 19, 15 minutes. If we look at the minutes this game, the only reason you'd give him a few more is because you think Haliburton is not right to play as many as he has been playing, which means there's some minutes to go around now for Ben Shepard. So if we cap him and project him at about 19 to 20, he took 6 shots in that game. He hit 4 of them. I mean, he was hot, man. This is what it comes down to with these role players, is just, do they hit their few chances that they get? Aaron Wiggins didn't cash for us yesterday because he went 3 for 7. He took 7 shots, but that's the most you could bank on for him. I think there's no way you can bank on more than 6 shots for Ben Shepard. I know some people were talking about adding the rebounds and assists. It's 1.5 boards. So if you want to look at the PRA for him, it's a little bit better. He got close last game. You get over 7.5. What are his potential assists are going to be mad low, 3, 2, and 1. Those could go up if he has the ball in his hands a little bit more. I don't think they want the ball in his hands a little bit more. They really just want the shots to go up for him from the corner from 3, and they need him to make it. And it's just that simple. So now it's a do or die situation where do you think he's going to go 2 of 3? And if he does, then you get plus 200. That's such a sucker bet, man. There's nothing I can use once again to tell me that he's necessarily getting that. I don't have enough information from the news to tell me that Ben Shepard is for sure going to get that much more of a usage. Now with TJ, it's obviously a lot different. TJ comes in and gets a stupid high usage rate, but that 10.5, I mean, if we look at the season, let me look real quick, not versus New York. Hold up. Change this to 2023 in the playoffs. So, I mean, the 10.5 points he's gone, like this 10 number is pretty important because he shoots all 2s, right? So when he makes 5 2s, now he's at 10 points. So that 10.5 is a hook that we could easily get caught on, and is not something that I always love to have to bank on. Like when he was below 10.5 points, this was a beautiful bet. Last game he took in 19 minutes, he took 10 shots, right? And 50%, 40 to 50% is about what you expect. So anything under 10.5 or really under 10 is going to be a good bet for TJ, because if he's taking the 10 shots he's been taking, right, and he needs to hit 5 of them, that's doable. But hitting more than that don't count on threes, first of all. So just wipe that from your mind. And then the free throws are so unreliable. He hasn't taken one in this series yet in terms of a free throw. So for McConnell, like the only way that I could really take him, I know he's taken a few more shots in that here and there. Let me look real quick in the playoffs. Field goal attempts right here. He took 16 in the first game. So it's not like he can't do that. But they also now are liking this Pascal matchup a lot more, I gotta believe. Let me go back to this game log from last game, and this is all intertwined here. All these things are related, between PJ minutes and shots to Pascal minutes and shots, and Tyrese and Ben Shepard, whatever. Shepard's bottom of the totem pole, though. There's nothing to help me get his stuff in a way that'll help me get like information to bet on him. But for TJ, if I go to the box score of this last game, he played those 19 minutes and he took the 10 shots, man. Now Tyrese took 26. So if you trim some of those from Tyrese and you give them to TJ because of the minutes, but once again, like just because Tyrese was hobbling around looking like that doesn't mean that I'm 100% sure that he's not going to get minutes. It's just I can't guarantee that he's still not going to play 36. If he plays 36, he's got to be good for 20 shots. Otherwise, what's he doing in there? But maybe you like the assist a bit more for Tyrese. Either way, let me try to round out TJ, Pascal, and then you've got Ben Shepard, right? And Obi. Those are dudes where you see those shots going. Pascal played 30 minutes because he had the 5 fouls, but I do think he's a better bet for the points more than anybody, to be honest with you. He took 14 shots, but he went to the free throw line 9 times, right? So if you're scared, 14 shots isn't that much, well, it might not be, but he would have had probably about 18 if he didn't go to get hacked about 4 or 5 times right here, right? That's probably, I don't know how many and ones he had, but he probably that was four different fouls. So that's 4 shots that he gets taken away. Like that doesn't count as a field goal attempt when you take a shot that you get fouled and go to the line. So I think you got to consider the Pascal bet a bit better here. It was Josh Hart mostly. I'm going to go to matchups real quick. I think they're going to keep dumping the ball down to Pascal. I think that's probably the outlet here for points for this team. So Pascal on offense, he saw some Josh Hart, Precious, and he kind of killed both of them, for being honest, right? Between the two, he went 6 of 7 versus Hart because he's just shooting everything down low. He didn't even attempt a 3, went to the foul line 5 times because he's too big and Josh Hart will foul you. So he actually went, well, this only says 3 times, but that can't be because he took 9 foul shots. So he had to go a 4th time for sure. Take 2, that's 6. Yeah, he had to go at least 4 times. So these two dudes are going to be responsible for guarding him once again. That's a mismatch, both of them. I mean, he's going to continue to own Precious, but he might do a little bit better job. Either way, that does lead to a few more minutes. And basically, I'm on over Pascal at this point. Can we still get 21.5? That's where I think the sort of pressure comes out. Like basically Tyrese's shots go to Pascal, and Pascal is the one who gets 18 to 22 shots once again. Pascal takes 18 to 22. Do we like him to get 23? The best number here, -102. You can get even money on FanDuel. Okay, so even money. Oh, it's up to 22 though. Yeah, that's fine. So up to 22. Let's put him at 36 minutes once again, because I mean he could play 38 if he just stays out of foul trouble, which I would imagine they're going to tell him to please stay out of foul trouble. But he's taken 16 and 18 shots. The 16 that he took in game 1, real quick, he only had 4 free throws, so that was a bad game for Pascal for sure. But then they put OG on him, right? There was no more Mitch Rob out there to bother him. And that was a big deal. And then OG gets hurt, and in this last game, he's dominant. So we're going to go back to him not having a good matchup. I'm going to put a full unit on the over the +100 here. That's enough of an edge for me with how many shots I think he's going to take. I'm going to do this real quick. I'm going to go to the regular season. I'm going to do the last 30 games of this team. He's averaging 21.5. And I'm going to take the field goal attempts and put him up to 18, because I do think that's how many he's good for. We'll say 18, because I cannot see him taking less than that. We'll do 18 to 20. But when he's taken 18 to 20 shots in the last 30 games, he's gone over 20 times. He averages 24 points. We're a little bit on the cusp. I think for even money, it's still worth it. So I'm adding Pascal to the card even at the 22.5. I still think that's a good look. And I think that's where the shots end up going, right? So Pascal over 22.5 +100 on FanDuel for 1U. We're rolling with Pascal in this game. There's just not a good matchup. That's what I saw last game too. I think he's going to eat today, so we'll get that. Appreciate you, Ro. Yeah, we had a video up with the lines as well. I do with my buddy Nate as we work for them. Let's see real quick. Let's see. We got some Nembhard look. I just want to add a couple things. I'm sure you guys are adding a couple things in the comments, which I appreciate. Oh man, I always stay away from Miles Turner at this point. I bet him once so far in these playoffs. He was the one game he took like 4 shots. I've just got to resign to the fact that I have no read on freaking Miles Turner there. What's up, Drewski? We got Hartenstein too. Okay, you like the under on the PRA. Yeah, for Hartenstein, I'm a little bit more now on just assists without trying to worry about other stuff as well. I'll add him here. I'm gonna pass on Ben Shepard. And like I said, for McConnell, at this point, if you project him for 12 shots. All right, five, but that's 5 to 6 makes, and that's still not quite where I want to be. And I think those shots are going to Pascal, like I said. So I'm going to pass on those dudes. I took Pascal. We'll look at Brunson right now because he was next up. And then I will add Hartenstein to this as well. And one other thing I wanted to look at too was where. So I didn't explain this yet, but I took Miles McBride over the 8.5 points. I think he's the one that's going to see a few more shots with what I perceive to be a regression for Dante. Now he might take 20 shots. I don't have him at 26. I think he takes about 20. Brunson probably still good for the 26, but I think McBride gets a couple extra from where Dante was shooting. I think you see a couple of those go to McBride. I also think LYB Burks takes like 3 shots, which means you get a couple more from Miles McBride. So I'm fading LYB Burks. This is all on the bottom line right now, scrolling along, but I'm fading LYB Burks on his PRA. And I'm taking over on Miles McBride 8.5 points. So if you want to jump in on those as well, you can get into that. Let me, I have Hartenstein up. Let me look at Jay Brunson real quick. So he was 10 for 26 in this last game. Here's what I don't know that leads me to just not know how to bet on him necessarily, is the fact that Nesmith guarded him last game. So let me show you what I got here. If you go to matchups and you put JB on offense, he was guarded for 81.2% of the time that he was on the floor with Nesmith. Nesmith guarded him. So this is his primary defender. The only other dude really getting those minutes now is TJ, because when Nesmith and Nembhard are on the floor together, Nembhard ain't it. And once again, Nembhard got cooked 2 for 4. He got 6 points in the minute that he guarded Jalen Brunson as the primary defender. Brunson barbecued him 6 points in a minute, right? With Nesmith, it was 10-50. It was basically 11 minutes of him guarding Nesmith guarding Brunson. Scored 15 points. But he took 16 shots and made 6 of them. And that's because it was the majority of the game, right? So 6 for 16 versus just everybody else that he's 50% from the field on when he's going at them. That's tough. And he only hit he hit 2 threes, 1 for 4 though from versus Nesmith. And then when Nembhard's on him, he's just licking his chops and just good to go, right? So if they're going to keep putting Nesmith on him, now here's the other reason that I can't feel comfortable, like, oh, Nesmith's just going to shut him down. So let me get an under on Jalen Brunson. There is something to the idea that Brunson's hurt, which I believe was brought up by somebody last night in the Discord, which I really appreciated, which was the look that Nembhard isn't as healthy as he could be, right? He was nursing his injured shoulder. I don't think we have an update on him at all that would help us at this point. This game starts in 2 hours, but we still might not get anything. Let me just look up Nesmith shoulder. So now he is questionable and actually says legit iffy. So this is important. This is so fucking important. Nesmith's shoulder injury is new, as you see me picked up. I remember the play that he did it on too, right? He like crashed to the ground. I can't remember if he blocked somebody or got blocked or what, but maybe it was a charge call. The play where he went down was pretty nasty, to be honest. 34 minutes, and he would be playing as many minutes as he could in this game. So now that he's questionable, bro, that's legit. And iffy is different than questionable to me. Like questionable is everybody's questionable, but iffy is like legit. This dude might not play. Like iffy to play. I feel like iffy's worse than questionable. Yeah. So yeah. I mean, there's not much there, but like if Nesmith is out or not able to really go that well, I cannot condone an under for Jalen Brunson. One thing while people are talking about the totals and the sides and stuff like that, with the injuries that are amounted, like, so if Nesmith and Haliburton were healthy, I'd be like, yo, do not bet on the Knicks. Like they're wearing down. Like these amount of minutes is just not sustainable for all these dudes. This is going to be what you have to play again. I mean, Precious might get a few more, but Josh Hart probably gets a few more. Hartenstein, DDV, Brunson. Like, I think McBride's the only sub that's going to come off the bench that isn't going to get a quick hook because Tibbs is like, hell no. And if Alec Burks isn't hitting shots, I think he gets a quick hook. So now we're talking about like 6 dudes who are all like, DDV is going to be exhausted. He's guarding Haliburton for the entire game on top of the fact that he's taking most of their shots now. You look at Haliburton real quick, who never stops running, but how healthy is he? So there's a lot of unknown here, but you see Dante's guarding him for the majority of the time, more than half the time he's on the floor with him. It's a long time to be chasing Haliburton around. He does the best job guarding him, but like then he's supposed to go on the other end and shoot. You know what I mean? So it's going to be tough to like gauge all that. But if this was a healthy Haliburton and a healthy everybody for the Pacers, I'd be like, just take the Pacers. But now with Nesmith being legit questionable, there's a lot to understand there. So I wouldn't be looking at like anything necessarily for those props for Brunson. But also, I know we've been going under on Brunson assists. I don't think you can keep doing that. Let me pull that up real quick for JB. The points, that's still a toss-up to me. I mean, he still took 26 shots last game. He just only made 10 of them because Aaron Nesmith was guarding him, which Rick Carlisle, what's the opposite of coach of the year? Not coach of the year? I think Rick Carlisle deserves that at this point for the way he's run these rotations, keeping McConnell off the floor, not putting Nesmith and leaving Nembhard on Brunson while he just cooked. That made no sense. Finally put Nesmith on him. I know Brunson's hurt more than he was, but he's gonna get bothered. Just straight up, that's gonna bother him, bro. So I think for Brunson, the assists start to look a little bit better as time moves on. I know we've been going under on those. Last game he had 6, butted up right against it. The potentials. Hold up, let me get the playoffs here. Not last 30, just the playoffs. All right, the playoffs, he's averaging 7.9, but he's gone under in all 3, the 6.5. It's now minus 110 on both sides. The potentials last game, 13. He had 7 in the game he came out. Still had 5 assists. 13 to get 6. Yeah, I mean, his potential assists in this series, 15 and 13. So, like, let's put him at 14 potentials. 7 is very doable. I don't think there's an edge either way with the minus 110 on both sides. But that's where I would lean for him, especially if he's going to, if Nesmith plays. I just don't know enough. So if Nesmith is in, I lean under on the points and over on the assists for Brunson. I'm going to put that on the bottom line because I don't want to just leave you hanging with nothing, but I've got leans looks here. So I'm putting Brunson on under 33.5 points / over 6.5 assists. And I'm putting here with stars around it. If Nesmith plays. And if he plays, like, yeah, you need your shoulders to play defense for sure. The thing about him, his shoulder being hurt, is he could get in there and go get hurt right away, or at some point in the game, and then be missing now because he's already playing with an injury. That was what I fucked up when I picked Gafford yesterday. Was the likelihood of him having to sit more minutes because he has to come out to help with his dislocated pinky. That was a real thing, and that ended up costing us because Derek Lively got all his minutes and points and rebounds and everything that he would have gotten. I like the under in this game as well. So careful with a ton of overs. What I was looking at here, and this goes right in hand with the fourth quarter bet. Like, you could do this, you could use this logic to take an under for the entire game, but it's the playoffs time where it's slowing down, right? And they played a 97 pace in the first half, and especially in that second quarter when everything was going crazy, and then they play with an 88 pace in the second half. Nesmith locking Brunson up would help. The Knicks are not going to shoot 52% from 3 once again, and they didn't get over last game with the Knicks shooting 52% from deep, right? So you got to keep all that into consideration because this series keeps moving towards under, and at 218.5, this is the last moment in time that we might not see this at like 212.5. Because if this thing goes to like 210, 212 or less, then yeah, we're going to see these unders, this total drop for next game and get no value on an under at a certain point. But yeah, this stuff's going to keep dropping. So the total for the game, I lean under. I would be very careful with. I'm going to put that in here, but I'd be very careful with taking too many overs in this game. So game total. Let's see. I'll put it right here. NYK at Indy under 218.5, just as a lean, so that y'all know that that's the way I'm leaning on the total, which means there's fewer points to go around, right? Let's see here. We got Hart double might be a decent look. What's that worth? I already took him to lead the game in rebounds at minus 150, which is, I put 1.5 units on it to win a full unit back. Like, I don't know who's going to get more rebound chances than this dude. I can show you that too. But if you look at rebound chances for homie, like that's a guarantee. I wanted to look at Hartenstein, and I think we can move to the other game real quick so I can give that a full like 25, 30 minutes. But for Hartenstein, 6 points last game, still played the 38.5 minutes, right? Let me go into the game log actually real quick. So for him, his matchup was going to be Miles Turner for the majority of the time, and that was a problem, right? Yeah, we saw that right here. He only took one shot, but it was tough for him to even get a shot off against Miles Turner. That dude is just so much freaking bigger than Hartenstein. You're seeing why Hartenstein wasn't just already like a starting center in the league. Kind of undersized for certain dudes like Miles Turner, especially who's like 7'2", healthy 7'2". So yeah. What's up, Moha? Yeah, I think that's a good look. If you're talking about the Pacers total under, that's what I lean as well. That's going to be the look for me. But let me put up Hartenstein right here. So 4 field goal attempts, man. Everything just dropping. Nothing to go into the line. Really not aggressive in this last game, but the assists continue to be there for him, right? I think it's 4.5 now. That's my favorite lean for him. Oh, you can still get 3.5? No. Is FanDuel really still leaving 3.5 up for Hartenstein? Even at that money. Yeah, minus 152 for him to get 3.5. How many? I think he didn't have that many last game. Yeah, he only had 7 potentials last game. Game before 13. I mean, he's still going to be facilitating. He got a lot of those potential assists with Jalen Brunson on the bench too, and Brunson was even more beat up in the previous game. So the assists are a bit more of a toss up once, even on especially on the 4.5. Plus 130 though, I don't hate that for him to get 5. We need him to get on the potential assists. It's tough in this look with Miles Turner guarding him. So I don't think there's anything there for me with Hartenstein. Right now we got the Turner ain't no 6'11". Stop that. Everything is on the bottom though. Jaroslav, if you want the bets I've already got in, those are on the bottom there on the scrolling along. So take that look. Pacers total is at 120. Oh, if you mean the game though, I'm not sure the Pacers total is 120. That wouldn't add up, right? Yeah, it would probably, it's the total for the game, but is what you're talking about. Either way. So yeah, and then the only other look here, let me give to Obi a look real quick. I like the look here from Tony too, talking about subs can be overs today due to fatigue. Yeah, I think that's kind of what I'm getting at with Miles McBride too. I think it's a good point to add to it, is like if you're looking at starters who are banged up, you might need to see about some backups getting a few more points and a few more shots. But let me just pull up Obi real quick. He was just cashing for everybody for the longest time. He still got the assist last game. Only 1 board, and what do you have, 2 points, right? He still played his 19 minutes. He took 4 shots and only made 1 of them. So what do we do with Obi now? Like I don't go right back to an over for Obi. I'll tell you that. I can see him getting a few more shots up than the 4. But if you put him at 6 shots, he needs to go 4 for 6, and he's still not there. He needs to hit a 3. How many did he take? He took 1 3 in this last game, right? So they're definitely getting out on Obi a bit more. Yeah, I don't know if that it's an Obi game. I think you keep going under for Obi, to be honest with you. The PR, 13.5 on the PR. That feels like the under for Obi. 4 attempts. How many rebound chances did he have? That's what I'm going all the way down here for. Oh, wait, maybe I missed it because they brought it back up. No, come on, rebound chances. Where are you at? Maybe I have to be on rebounds. All right, let me see yeah, okay. So 7.1. He had 3 rebound chances last game to get 1. He's had 5 in the previous game to get 3. So I don't think he's getting the boards. I'll be honest with you. I know there might be a few more misses, but I also think things slow down, like I said. So I think the PR is an under 13.5. That doesn't add up. Is that wrong? Because he's at 8.5 points, 3.5 boards. I mean, that comes out to like 12. So how are you going to put us? I mean, we got to go under on the points and rebounds with that flawed logic. Let me just make sure I got this correct. But that math isn't mathing already. If you got 8.5 on the points, 3.5 on the boards, and the points and rebounds are at 13.5 on FanDuel still hanging around, yeah, dog, that's a bet right there for sure. We're going under on Obi's points and rebounds. That's just math. Obi Toppin under 13.5 PR. And that is minus 128 FD full unit on that. I got to add that to the card, man. That feels like pretty easy money right there. That's too much. Oh, my bad, bro. I wasn't sharing my. Thanks for letting me know. Let me pull up the right one. Messing up. So yeah, that's crazy though. Obi, this is what I was looking at though. Is like 13.5 on the points and rebounds. Points are at 8.5. The rebounds are at 3.5. That's 12. Yeah, you're saying he needs to get 14 to go over on the points and boards. Like he's not even there in the rebound chances anymore. Nah, dude, I was waiting for the moment to fade Obi, honestly, because I knew he just kept going over, hitting like 80% of his shots, which was not sustainable. He finally went over. I'm feeling good about it. Let's get that under for Obi Toppin points and rebounds. All right, we're good there. The Nah, Miles Turner's way bigger. I don't care what anybody says. I don't care what these websites say. Kevin Garnett was listed at like 6'9". Dude was 7 feet. You can tell whatever you want. I'm gonna use my eye test on Miles Turner. I'm gonna be stubborn about this one. Even if don't bring your facts and your logic to this argument where I'm just bringing my subjective opinion. All right, let me keep it moving. But you're probably right. Either way, how much bigger does he look? That just look at him. Like how much bigger does he look than him? That's all I'm saying. All right, I'm gonna keep moving to the Denver game here so I can make sure we get this in. I know this game's gonna start at 12:30. I'm gonna get out of here at or what is it, 3:30 for y'all? I'm gonna get out of here at about 3. So or is it 2? Yeah, I'm crazy. This game's on for 2 hours. All right, let's keep it going. Topping at 12.5. Yeah, you could still. I mean, honestly, I could still go for it at under 12.5. Like I said, 8.5 plus 3.5 is 12. So they have him listed at 12 if you separate the props, but then they put them together and give you 213.5, even 212.5. You're still in a pretty good spot there. Yeah, I'm gonna go with that. Yeah, I don't care. I don't care. I don't care anymore. Hartenstein looks little as hell. Maybe it's because he's always bent over. Like, you see how dude's always just kind of like, this is why he's good at dribbling and passing. But PRA, yeah, I mean, the assists are weird. I can't believe he had the 3 assists last game for Obi. The PRA is listed at, yeah. So why is the PR list? You see what I'm saying? We're getting a pretty big edge here to the under 13.5 PR. Hopefully you guys can grab that. My guy who's watching, who helps me here with stuff, my partner should be helping me get that bet in. All right, let's look at a couple of things here. I know some people already brought up some of these Nuggets and the Timberwolves game. For that game right now, like I'm just gonna bet on the Nuggets first of all, in part because I need them to win, so all of my futures tickets cash. Yo, Miles is 5. Miles looks small as hell, but he can sky. That's the thing we need to realize about these dudes. All right, let me look at this game. Where should we start? Because my only bet right now is Ant. And you're looking at the dude who kept trying to go under on Jamal Murray. I did in the first 2 games. I tried to do it in the 3rd game. That shit ain't work. So I'm gonna not fade Jamal Murray because he was the difference to me more. That's it. Like, he was the difference in this last game. So now he's at 21.5 points. He was at 20.5 last game. He only went up 24. I mean, I still think he looked less, like so much less hobbled. The 21 shots was a big reason for it. Plus, Jaden McDaniels, you can't be playing the same defense that he was in the earlier games. That's a huge part of this. McDaniels had 2 fouls. Let me pull up this other game real quick in the box score. McDaniels had 2 fouls in the first half. Also, this reminded me of something. Well, let me just support myself here. Right, McDaniels had 2 fouls. Was the first quarter. I'm going into the box score from this last game. Going to Q1. Going down to JMD. Yeah, he had 2 fouls, so he came out after 5:30, right? We saw that. The Jamal bet was dead right then and there. In quarter 2, he got another one. So he had 3 fouls at the half. Going to quarter 3, game was pretty much over anyway. Picks up another. So he's got 4 already, right? And that's why his minutes go down. That's why Jamal does better. So there is the likelihood. There's 2 ways to look at this for this game. The likelihood that this team, that the Nuggets don't shoot 48% from 3, that's pretty good. 53.7% from the field, probably going to not hit that as well either, right? So, I mean, you can't necessarily bank on that. They might have one more game in them is the thing. They are the champs. 30% for the T-Wolves. I mean, that's what they are. Like, that's what they've been on defense. On offense this season, is like, they're not that good. Let me pull up their stuff for the season. Because this Nuggets defense, I would argue, is better than this Minnesota offense. We were talking about that on the Kyle Kerm show today. Minnesota's offense, we're looking at 114.5 offensive rating, right? I'm gonna look at their shooting real quick. 3-point percentage. Okay, they actually were a much better 3-point percentage team this year. So yeah, that was in part because they did have a bad shooting game. So I do lean towards Denver pulling this one out, but the total 204.5, I can't see it getting much past that. I think that's a fair total. If anything, I would lean a little bit more to the under. I know my homie Nate likes the over in this one, but it would be about the under would be a little bit more of a play if you think that there's gonna be some regression for this team. So let's get into some of these props. I went under on Aaron Gordon last game on the rebounds and assists, and the rebounds were what got us there because he got hella assists, but now he's down at 9.5 on the rebounds and assists. I don't think he's going to have a good time going up against Rudy once again. The PRA, he went just under. We're at 21.5 there. That was a look that I did like, was under for Aaron Gordon. One of the reasons, the main reason, is Rudy guarding him. And I want to make sure that was the case this game as well. Putting Aaron Gordon on offense. Yeah, Rudy still guarding him for 5.5. Scored 8 on him eventually. So that's not bad. The assist should still be there for him as well. So if you wanted to go under on the PR, I think that might be a better look. 17.5 all the way down to that. That's crazy for our mans here. But I mean, look at when Rudy's in the game. Like, this is a big difference. 12 and 15 in the games where Rudy's in, 24 where he's not. So we're probably getting a little bit of value here still on the under for Aaron Gordon. How many shots did he take real quick in this last one? He played 33 minutes, and that's what he's played in this series. So he's still, that's his rotation, is 33 minutes, which is nice that we can help project that. He took 6 and 7 shots with Rudy guarding him, made 5 of them. Not getting to the free throw line either. One free throw last game, I believe, missed it. 2 free throws the game, 3 with Rudy in the first game. Like, he's still an under for the PRA for me for Aaron Gordon. The PRA and the assists are up to 4.5 now, because that's what he does way more with Rudy. So I think when you add the assists and you go under on the PRA for Aaron Gordon more than anything, that's the better look. And it's 21.5 on FanDuel, so you get a bit better number than DraftKings. It's 20.5. Caesars 20.5. I don't know if anybody's with me, but my bad. Did you guys want me to look at Nembhard? I can see you guys talking about that too. And the High Point Youngin. That's a fire name. Let me interrupt myself. And I'll look at that in next and just go back to that, since that game comes before this one. But Aaron Gordon, man, I still like the under PRA for him with the amount of shots and with Rudy guarding him the way he is. Like, yeah, that's a strong lean for me. I'm gonna put that in there right now so I don't forget it on the bottom, and go under on the PRA. And then I'll look at our boy here, and I'll update this too. My bad. So we already looked at them. I got to look at Mike Conley. Let me put Nembhard in here so I don't forget. And then I'll add to the bottom line here. I'm adding Aaron Gordon under as my lean, my really strong lean right now. Under 21.5 PRA on FanDuel is where you want to play that. So I'll just put that in there. So that's a lean right now too. Is going to be some Aaron Gordon under right there. But now I'm going to back to that for my boy, the High Point Youngin. What's up, Achiuwa? Don't forget to tell your mom you love her, everybody. Let me see here. I'm going to go back real quick so I can just look at Nembhard again. Nembhard is a polarizing figure in the capping community right now. High Point Youngin, if you're listening, let me know what you were thinking real quick. I want to see if anybody else put something about Nembhard so I can get that look in there. I distracted the hell out of y'all with that 7'4" Miles Turner talk. He looks 7'4". All right, that's what I meant to say. Let me see real quick. Anybody have anything for Nembhard over under? Where are you at? Oh no, Yoshua, it's all good, bro. What's up, Bull Rise? Welcome to the team here. Good to have you. Let me know if you have a bet that you want to throw in. I'll put that back up. If you are new, do that. We got the description of the video, has all the links to everything you need, including the Discord where we're all at, in there for free right now. If you want to jump in, we got some good homies in there getting good stuff. All right, Nembhard. So Nembhard should do a little bit better if Haliburton's a little bit more banged up, right? The PRA is at 16.5. Let me break this down a little bit better. So in the 3 games here versus the Knicks, let's keep it. I know he was hooping against this weak Milwaukee Bucks defense, and he was the beneficiary of Pat Bev guarding Haliburton and not having anybody that was at nearly as good a defense on this dude, right? So let's do versus the Knicks in the playoffs real quick. My bad. We have that up. He had 5 points last game. He had 5 boards. He had 6 assists. So the 6 assists is interesting. Potentials were at 8. The over on 3.5 is -164. And then everywhere else it's 4.5 or plus money. So the PRA on DraftKings over -105. I do lean though. Obviously, I'm just looking at Green right now. Let me see the rebound chances for dude. And he also got taken off of Brunson. So who is he guarding last game? I got to look at that real quick. Who did Nembhard guard more often last game than Brunson? Because he was not on Brunson last game. Box score of game 3. Looking at the matchups, going to defensive player Nembhard. So he guarded Dante last game, and then Dante cooked him. His defense looks hella overrated right now. Am I wrong with Andrew Nembhard? Let's see real quick. What does that do for the boards? Not much, honestly. He's guarding this. He's guarding a dude with just as high of a usage last game as Jalen Brunson. So he just shot poorly. How many shots did he take? All periods for Nemby. 8 shots. He shot terribly. 2 for 8, but he had the dimes and the boards to go with it. What were his rebound chances at? Let me go to player tracking inside of here. And he was at 12 rebound chances guarding White Dante. That might be a little bit of a reasoning for the difference there. Let me see real quick. The 12 rebound chances. What were they in the other games? He didn't even have a rebound chance in this game. And he had 4 in game 1. Then he goes up to 12. Now, like I said, he's busy guarding Jalen Brunson. So he was not available to get boards. And now he might be. You can't exactly leave White Dante, but that doesn't mean that he's not more around for the boards. That's crazy that he went up to 12 last game just because he's guarding somebody so different. Maybe. What were the potential assists at again? Assists, because he had 6 of them. On 8 potentials, those remain decently high. I mean, now I'm leaning towards the PA. What's that at? Because, I mean, maybe the rebounds are going to stick, though, because he's not going back to guarding unless Nesmith is hurt. And this is the problem with these injury reports is we need to know if Nesmith is playing because that puts him on Jalen Brunson. But if he's not, that puts Nembhard on Jalen Brunson. They're not going to start TJ McConnell. They made that clear. And Rick Carlisle's a stubborn man when it comes to his coaching. So, Andrew Nembhard, PRA. So if Nesmith plays, then I like the PRA over for Nembhard. If Nesmith doesn't play, then it's tough to get there with it. Then it's tough to get there anywhere with him. I think you add the assist no matter what, because especially on FanDuel, it looks like you can get the -164 for over 3.5 assists, and he's at about 8 potential assists per game in this series, right? 8.3 in this series. So I like those numbers for him to get 4 dimes. If he gets 4 dimes and the rebounds are still at 2.5, he only got 5 on 12 rebound chances. So if you dumb that down to like 8 rebound chances, what is that? He gets him to about 3.5. I still think the rebounds are a good look for Nembhard. I think that's the play. Was anybody? Let me see real quick what you guys are talking about. Yeah, appreciate you, Derek. Nice of you to say that, bro. You like over assists over here, Sid. And yeah, I'm wondering what you were talking about, the high point young, and if you're still around, this is for you, bro. So like, let me know if you what you're thinking there. Jesus Christ, street cred, you're on one right now, bro. You talking about White Dante? White Dante is like Italian. He's just like lived in Philly, so he's got that dog in him. All right. Street cred. Can't be saying stuff like that, bro. Let me see. Yeah, I think yeah. All right. What are we doing for Nembhard here? It's really about if I like the over rebounds. I got to put it as a lean for now. I'll be sticking it around. As soon as I get a Nesmith update, then I'll be letting you guys know. So I'm going to put that once more on the bottom line. I'm going to go Nembhard over. I think you got to go PRA. PRA is the 16.5. You get the best value with that. This is, once again, if everything's just hinging, because it's so important if Nesmith plays, because he's guarding the best player on the Knicks and actually able to guard the best player on the Knicks. If he's not in there, it's so different. I can't like put a full bet down until I know if Nesmith is playing to help impact that. So if Nesmith is playing, what we have here, what we like if Nesmith is playing is Brunson over 6.5 assists because we like him to force the ball out of Brunson's hands and not give him good shots. We like Nembhard over PRA because the 5 points was just a bad shooting game last game. He's still going to get 8 to 10 shots, which means he should get more than 5 points. He should get about 6 to, let's say 8 to 10 points. Should be fair for Nembhard. The rebounds at 2.5. He had 12 rebound chances last game, and I'm attributing a lot of that to him not guarding Jalen Brunson, where he's no longer available to get any rebounds because he's guarding Jalen Brunson. So he's putting a hand up on every shot that's taken, most of the shots that are taken for the Knicks, right? So with that in mind, if Nesmith plays, we also like the Nembhard over on the, I really like the over on the rebounds, 2.5 if he plays. So I would keep that in mind. And the RA, what's the rebounds and assists? Because maybe we don't have to depend on him hitting shots. 6.5, and he had 6 dimes last game. I think you can bank on 4 dimes though, like 3 to 4 assists. And then you need I think you put the points in there. I'll leave the points in there for Nembhard. And all that stuff, make sure you see that it says if the leans are dependent on Nesmith playing. So keep all that in mind, y'all. Yeah, for sure. I mean, I put 1.5 units on Josh Hart to be the leader in rebounds in this game. So that was clearly my most confident bet because I wanted to win a full unit back. I'm really liking the Pascal points right now after looking at that a little bit more closely. And let me just see real quick. I'm happy with the Obi Toppin under 13.5. I kind of like all my bets, bro. That's why I put them in, for being honest. But that's where I'm at with that. Let me, it's confirmed that Nesmith is playing. Bro, thank you, DB. Thank you, commenter of the show right now, because that is the most important information that we have in this one is Nesmith playing. I'm not calling you a liar. I just want to see some stuff for myself real quick on if there's any more updates. All right. Yeah, we already knew he was going to play. So Nesmith's going to play, but the thing is he could come out, right? Like you got to be a little bit worried that he's going to play the whole game if that's the case. So keep that in mind. Yeah, so this chat's out of control, bro. All right, let me get back to the other game. You know what I'm doing with Nembhard now. I think the over 2.5 rebounds is a good look with Nesmith in there. I think that might be the best bet, even more so than the PRA. What's the PR at? 11.5. You need him to make shots, but I'm not worried about him making shots, to be honest. I want to see one more thing. Was there a change in the matchup for who guarded Nembhard? Let's see that real quick. Nembhard on offense. He was guarded. There was some Deuce McBride on him. When Jalen was on him, he cooked him. So if you're going to he always cooks Jalen. That's what he did last game too. He scored all 5 of his points on Jalen Brunson. So keep that in mind. But yeah, I think the over 2.5 rebounds is a good look if he's going to be in that situation. Like, unless we think that was a complete fluke that he got 12 rebound chances to get 3 boards. Like, come on, I could do that if you give me 12 rebound chances. But y'all don't know about my ability to leap either, do you? So, but now I am going to put Nembhard on there. I think I get pretty good numbers. Over -112, -109 on Caesars. I think maybe you just keep it to the PRA. We got to get the assist in there, don't we? Because he's been diming up and you still get it. So let's just go with the PRA. -105 on DK. That's a good look. I'm going to add that to the card instead of just make that a lean for Nembhard at this point. Now that we have that Nesmith news, I appreciate that. Let's see here. Take Nembhard over 16.5 PRA. Move that from the leans and make that -105 on FD. I'm going to go with the half a unit on it, because I got a pretty full card right now. Half a unit to the partners that are listening right now, helping me out. All right, and then I can take that off for the leans, and I can get back to this Minnesota game real quick so we can make sure we get some of that stuff. -185 now. The land your bets push, bro. Whatever a unit is for you, bro. If it's a $400 unit, then get it. Haliburton double is an interesting look, but it's 9.5 assists, right? So we're not going to get much for it. I think the assists are still a good look for Hallie. Like I said, I took him. I went back to under 21.5 points for him after I took over 21.5 points. So I'll probably just eat a little bit of the vig there, which sucks, but not going to be a big loss for me at that point. But I just did not feel comfortable enough. I bought out of it. Like I said, for the points, still think he gets more threes than Brunson, if we're being honest. Yeah, I didn't have a Precious bet, did I? Yeah. You don't know, bro. You don't even know about these hops over here. No Precious bet yet. Yeah, I know. Precious just dropped, and I think they're gonna need him a little bit more. So I think with the way that it was, like last game, I loved under 8.5 boards for Precious. I didn't think he was good enough to get the minutes. You might get a few more double big looks, like in terms of having both Hartenstein and Precious on the court at the same time. They didn't do it very much last game. Obviously, there was a lot more just subbing for each other. So the Precious stuff, just to finish the point, sorry, the Precious stuff, because it's up, right? Yeah, 6.5 for both. Like the points, maybe I lean towards the under there, but I think he might get 20 to 24 minutes is good for him. 20 to 24 minutes. The rebound chances, real quick, let me look at that while I'm just talking about it. Rebound chances for Precious, 11 in this last game. He could get 8 off that. I think that's fair, like for him. But if he gets a few more minutes, there's a few more misses from the Pacers. Might not be a great look. Like I said, the number went down and now I think he might actually get a little bit more than he got last game. So I'm good. But yeah, as far as sorry, and I didn't finish the Josh Hart bet. I appreciate you jumping in, Mike, because Mike jumped in and said if you have no problem laying juice, then flat units, yeah, it's still worth it. And I don't. I put 1.5 units on it to win one back but that if you want to put the one on it to win back, it's not going to be very much, obviously, at that point. But it's, I still think that it's a very, very likely bet. My math said at 150, it was worth it. I didn't really see what the edge was at minus 185. That would take me a minute. So I'm not going to get into it because I want to look at these bets and also go before too long so that I can get to Mother's Day and not get divorced as a result of skipping Mother's Day to hang with the homies talking about betting. But let's see real quick. We were looking at Mike Conley was the first one in there, and I didn't get to him. Remember, Aaron Gordon still at lean under for me. It's at 5.5 boards. Shoot, we've seen him at 5.5 boards against better teams. Rebounds was the look for Mike Conley. I don't know why this dude keeps getting boards. I guess he's just taken it upon himself. But in the last 10, not versus Denver, last 5, let's see, 2023, last 10, been getting boards, fam. I mean, he's gotten them in what is this, 6 of 8 or 4 of 6, 5 of 7. That's what I'm trying to say. 5 of 7. He's gone over 3.5 boards, and it's at plus money still. What am I missing? Let me look at rebound chances real quick. 9? Is he just committed? He's just committed. He couldn't get any in this game because his team didn't miss and he didn't have to play that much. How many minutes did he play in that game where he only had 4 rebound chances in 31 minutes? So he didn't get the rebound chances in game 2, even with, there weren't even a lot of shots going up. Denver turned the ball over so much that there weren't that many shots going up. But in the 8 and 9 rebound chances to get 4 boards, he can do that for plus money. I don't know what I'm missing, man. Let me see head to head real quick. Versus Denver. This is last year's playoffs. What about the regular season? Regular season, he stayed going over too. 2023-24 versus Denver. Versus Denver. So this is this season, including the playoffs. Over in 1, 2, 3, 4 of 7, right? Averaging the 4. So that's why you get the plus money. What were his rebound chances in the regular season? He's still at 7. Got the 4. 8 only got the 3. Not apples to apples here, but it's still a risky bet. I would say, what's his stuff for the season real quick? Let's just look at for the regular season in general. He was at 3 a game, and that was in 29 minutes. In the playoffs, he's playing 31.4 minutes, and this is still a risky bet, honestly. So let me put it in to the betting tool real quick, and I do got a dip here in a minute, which I hate to say because I know we got the most people in the stream at this point, but like I said, I do enjoy being married right now, so I can't I can't go too long. I'll give us another like 5-10 minutes. I'm trying to pull up my spreadsheet real quick. I'm sure plenty of y'all, if you've been in here at this point, you've seen it. Make this a little bigger for you. I just want to do some stuff here to see how I feel about the the Mike Conley rebounds. And then I will be getting a bunch more stuff. I know I went pretty hard on the Knicks game, but I'll be getting a bunch more in there on Discord. We can be hashing it out. So link is in the description if you do want to come back and check out some more bets for this later game. All right, Conley, I just got to do this because this is intriguing as hell to me. So the prop is rebounds, and it's 3.5, and the under odds are like -1 something at this point, which is crazy. -150. You can get -130 too. So let me do that real quick. Let me keep it to that. -130 to the under. And the over odds, you can get +120. That's wild. Minutes average was 29.4, and the rebounds prop average was 3. Was it not exactly? Let me take this off. Go to it was 3 exactly in those 29.4 minutes. Or 29.1 minutes, excuse me. 29.1. This matters. Let's get it right. 29.1, and the average was 3. Projected minutes tonight. He's been at 31, right? In this series. Let's look at this playoffs real quick. In the playoffs, he's averaging 31.4. He played 29 in this last one, 30 because it was a blowout. But I think 31 is what you put him at. So I'll put him at 31.5 for this game. 31.5, assuming it's not a blowout. I don't think we're going to get much edge either way, but I'll take a quick look. Prop the under for the likelihood of prop is -130. Some books have it at -150, to be honest, as well. But let's just do it -130. So -130 is going to be, I got to pull up my calculator. This is how you find the implied odds to make sure that you're not getting gypped on your price. -130 is 57% to the under. That's what the implied probability from the books are saying. There's a 57% chance this goes under. And the +120 is 45%. And so that's not going to give us an edge. Yeah, it's a -0.69, nice percent chance of going to the over as well. If you still think it's worth it for +120 juice, I feel you. I don't get it. But yeah, exactly. Once the chancletas come, then I got to get out the way. My wife is Mexican, so there are chancletas. She could probably hear me. Let's see here. I would lean over just because I like that +130. But yeah, it's a pass from me. Okay, that's good, bro. I see you. Good to hear back from you. If you like the Nesmith, that's fire. Yeah, what's up, Van Nero? That's perfect. Happy Mother's Day to all the moms that are in the stream right now. Or if not, then go tell your mama. Oh, Flo Farrell, that's a fire name too. Conley RA is what you've been eyeing. Okay, yeah, I've been missing out on the assists for Mike Conley. That's silly on my part. So the 6.5, and then you got the rebounds at 3.5. Can you get not? You can't get. You can get 9.5 on the RA. That's a much better look from you. Good look on that one, bro. I appreciate you bringing that up. And what drew me to your comment was your name is Flo Farrell, which is fire. But yeah, I think that's a pretty good look. Is the RA, and I've been missing out on these assists. So you're at 9.5. He's got to get 10. I mean, that means he does need to. I mean, that would mean you get one. He doesn't necessarily need to get 7 assists. He can get the 6. But this is juiced way the hell up, right? Like +120 because they don't think it's likely. What's his potential has been at real quick? 10 to get 7. That's cuckoo bananas. Honestly, he had 14 in game 1. Ant's going to have the ball in his hands a ton. If you play this for Mike Conley, I agree that the RA is the play. You combine both those together. What's the points at? 10.5? Yeah, I don't like that. For Mike, because he's how many shots has Mike taken? 9.7 in this series. 13-22 divided by 3 is basically 7 shots a game. So 7 shots to get 10 points from 11 points from Mike Conley. No, thank you. I know that the threes are at where are they at? 4 points. So yeah, in this series, he's taking 4.25, right? Needing to hit 2 threes to get to his 11 points. I'm out on the points. That's a good look on the RA. That's the lean for me for Mike Conley. I'm going to put that on the bottom line real quick while I try to get to one more bet for y'all and then dip. All right, putting up Mike Conley. Mike Conley. That's a good look by you, Flo Farrell. Over 9.5 RA is the play if you do play that for Mike Conley. So those are the leans. We'll see if them leans be leaning. And then the only other thing I want to see if there's one more. If there's one thing else that you guys are talking about that I'm like, yeah, let me take a look at that. That's a fine look, Yehoshua. I don't love the points for our boy, but it's a little bit scary. I actually passed on this. I'm just trying to get to a few comments. I passed on this for Haliburton. I originally liked the over. When I saw the way he was walking, I went out. I was out on it and I bought off of it. Let's see. Yeah, I think Nembhard's a good look. We got that on there. Achiuwa, 12.5 PR. That's a pretty good look, Sean, because it's 6.5 on the board, 6.5 on the points. So if you put them together, you get a little bit of a benefit. He can go under in one of them and still just go over in one of them, right? So I like that look there. FanDuel took down all Jokic props. Is that true? I mean, I'm not saying you're lying. I'm just like, why? Let me look into that real quick. Nothing, right? There's no news to look at here. Just the Pacers stuff. We still don't have anything for this Knicks game or for this Timberwolves game. All right, I have like a minute, but you got me intrigued here. No, Nicole is back there. He's back on FanDuel. Might have just been a quick thing, but 27.5. Yeah, so what my favorite bet from this game is still Ant. I got him at 27.5 points. I added the points and assists. I think that's a good look. Everything else, I think Conley on the RA is a good look. Might not be a great game to be taking Nas, Reed, or overs in general. I still don't think there's that many points coming in this game. Unfortunately, I do got a dip because like I said, I got to get out of here. Ant went out, or Ant went up. I saw that too, bro, on the points for Ant. 28.5. I mean, look, if you're going to take it, just take 30. At least you get a little bit better. 27.5 did give me a little bit more of an edge. I'll be honest with you when I took Ant. But anyway, that's all the time I got. Hit up the Discord. Link is in the description. I got the everything scrolling on the bottom line. I'll put it into the comments of the video, right? So I'll pin a comment there with everything we have, including the lean, so you know which way I'm going in case that helps you make a decision on one of your bets. I'm going to be coming out with a video probably tonight. I don't know how drunk I'm going to be at Mother's Day. I'll be honest with you. It might be tomorrow morning that we get that video up. But y'all still tuned in, so I appreciate it. Subscribe to the page if you would, though. It does do wonders. The Discord link in the description of the video if you want that. If you don't yet have props.cash and you want it, you can get props.cash for a really good price right now. That's everything that you saw that I was using. It's really good for MLB and for NFL as well, which I'll be using in the coming months. So all that's up there. Appreciate y'all subscribing for real. Big ups. I will be talking to you guys in the Discord. If you're not yet in there, get in there, and we'll be talking about this Minnesota-Denver game a bit more. I'm interested to see what y'all have. So until I do see y'all next, happy Mother's Day and happy betting.